Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the Shulbal Black community.
Here we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
Dumelang Absheni Ralocha Sanwanani Molweni. My name is Naledi Mfoloe, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News Channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Today we bring you a heart-wrenching story from Johannesburg that highlights the desperate need of a mother searching for a 6-year-old daughter who has allegedly been kidnapped by her employer. Now, on July 12th, Eva Tembo was reported missing following a disturbing sequence of events involving her mother, Laura Nkana, and Carlos Rebelo, and a 72-year-old man who employed Nkana as a domestic worker. Now, despite a court order requiring the return of Eva to her parents, she remains missing, and Laura's anguish is pretty much very visible. Now, Laura has since dedicated the past decade of her life to work and live in Carlos' household. Now, she described how when Eva was just 2 years old, Carlos insisted that they move into the main house for safety reasons. Now, what began as a seemingly caring gesture has now turned a dark turn, revealing a troubling dynamic between Laura and Carlos. Now, I feel like it's deeply troubling to hear that as Laura sought to take Eva back to Malawi to actually visit family, Carlos allegedly attempted to prevent her. Laura stated, and I quote, "Malawi might be poor, but it is my country." Now, earlier this year, Laura and her husband discovered that Carlos was secretly attempting to adopt Eva without their consent. Now, the Children's Court intervened on July 12th, suspending Carlos' interim order and mandating that Eva be returned to her parents immediately. Tragically, though, that has not happened. Now, I find this situation profoundly distressing. The fact that a child can be caught in such a web of control and manipulation is quite alarming and saddening. I mean, it raises critical questions about the protections in place for domestic workers and their families. How can we ensure that individuals in these vulnerable positions are safeguarded against such abuses? Now, in a shocking turn of events, Carlos' biological daughter, Susanna Kennedy, has come forward with her own harrowing account of abuse at the hands of her father. Now, she revealed that she experienced various forms of abuse throughout her childhood and warned others about the dangers posed by Carlos. Now, her testimony, more than anything, I think it adds another layer on to this tragic narrative. I mean, it illustrates a pattern of behavior that must not be ignored. Let's have a look.
Hi, everyone. I've just finished doing an interview with Cape Talk and about Carlos abducting Eva. And the important thing for you guys to know at this stage is that it is not safe for you to approach him personally. Please, if you spot them, do not approach them. Carlos is not safe to approach. He is a black belt karate instructor. He also could be armed, I don't know. And he's very volatile. So please keep yourself safe. I so deeply appreciate any and all information that is coming through. If you spot them, keep an eye on them. Keep tracking them from a distance, a safe distance, and call for help immediately. Call for help immediately. That is the most important thing. Thank you, everyone in advance. Keep sharing.
When she left him, he started sexually abusing me from 2 years old till almost 11. They had joint custody. I then got my period very young. and I told him I couldn't go to his house anymore because I was a woman. It was the first time he didn't force me to come back because he knew that now I could fall pregnant.
Eva was kidnapped in July. Her mother had been working for Carlos for over 10 years and was living on his property.
When Eva was about 2, Carlos insisted on Eva moving into the house and into his room and said that it wasn't safe for her to live outside with her mother. And that just, for me, affirmed my worst fears because the abuse with me started when I was about 2.5.
Susanna doesn't blame Eva's mom because she knows about her father's violent history.
I spoke to Eva's mom and I said, why did you let him do that, And she said, I was scared of him. And I said, why were you scared of him? And she said, because he used to shout at me terribly and I was petrified.
Susanna is fighting to get Eva back safely because she never told anyone about her own abuse.
I am doing everything I can to get this girl back. I didn't have a voice when I was a child. I didn't have anybody that was coming to rescue me or to help me. I'm going to do my best to help her.
Now, the community response has been one of outrage and concern, and understandably so. I mean, the local organization and advocates are actually rallying to support Laura in her desperate search for Eva. And calls have actually increased of awareness around the rights of domestic workers are actually growing louder and louder. And I believe that this situation actually serves as a crucial reminder of the systemic issues that needs to be addressed to protect those who often go unseen and unheard. Now, the search for Eva Tembo is not just about one child. I believe it represents the struggles of many families caught in similar predicaments. I mean, we must advocate for better protection for domestic workers and their children, ensuring that no family actually faces such heartache and despair. The time has come for society to take a stand against abuse in all its forms and to actually support those who find themselves in vulnerable situations. Now, as we continue to follow this heartbreaking story, we encourage anyone with information about Eva's whereabouts to come forward. Our thoughts are with Laura and her family during this incredibly difficult. Now, we will continue to keep you updated if there are any developments on this story. But while we're at it, please, let's engage in the comments section. We really want to hear from you. What are your thoughts in regards to this? And while you're at it, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. That's it from me. Till we meet again, it is goodbye.